Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel and a new video. Before we start, I just wanted to tell you that you don't need your notes to be pretty or aesthetic as long as you retain the information and you write down everything you need. I think that is beyond enough. This is just something that I enjoy doing and that I think works the best for me. This is just something that I want to share with you guys, and I hope it will help you out. Now, first of all, I wanted to talk about my supplies. Even though my pencil case is completely packed, I don't use that many pens for my notes. To most of my notes, I use my gel pen. I also use a brush pen if I want to get my notes a little nicer, a red gel pen, and a pencil. I also need an eraser and some mindliners and Crayola pens for my titles, since I like to color code them. I like to use blue for the notes that I'm taking in class and green for the notes that I'm taking on my own, from books or websites. Sometimes I can find information that my teacher gave me in the books or vice versa, and therefore I find it good to know what information that I've gotten from whom. I also use red for my titles when I take notes right before an upcoming exam. Then it's more of a summary of all the notes I've taken regarding that subject, and everything is in one place. I usually write down the date when I took the notes in the upper right hand corner. I can find that helpful if I'm looking for some specific information. For the individual topics within a title, I like to just write them down and highlight them. Sometimes I use calligraphy, but most of the time I just use my black gel pen. Then, when I'm writing down general information, I will use a bullet point, and for further information or details on that topic, I will use an indent. To write my notes, I usually use a black Energel pen size 05. When we do calculations or when I write things I'm not sure if they are correct or not, I usually use a pencil so that I can erase the information if needed. I don't use much color in my notes to keep everything simple, but if I come across some extra important information, I like to use my red Zebra Sarasa pen so that it's easy to find. I also like to underline examples and other things that I want to find easy. It just makes everything more organized. Here we have an example of how I take my notes in class. I also like to add post-it notes to my notes to draw diagrams, pictures, and graphs on. I especially like it since you can just flip it over and write down information that is relevant to the picture underneath. basically how I take my notes, and it's a pretty simple system. I don't use the cornel system, which I know can be popular. If you don't know, cornel notes are separated into 3 sections. Section A is a question column, Section B is for the notes, and Section C is a general summary. Instead of using this system, I use post-it notes for my questions, because at the moment I would only waste paper. For different classes, I like to use different systems. For history, a timeline works really well for me so that it gives me a visual representation of which event occurred prior to one another. In science, I like to draw and label diagrams, and in math, I usually use tables and graphs more. In language, it varies a bit more of how I do it. I find that drawing things in class really helps me remember things more, and most of the time it's less time consuming. Yeah, that's basically how I take my notes, you guys, and as you can see, I usually follow the system that I am showing you. As usual, don't forget to leave a thumb up and subscribe to my channel if you liked the video.